Hi, everyone. In week 3, you are going to begin watching recorded site visits. So throughout the semester, you will be watching site visits that were recorded during a live online course of Intro to Human Services. The purpose of these site visits is really to expose you to different agencies and careers in the field of human services. What I find is that sometimes it really triggers students to kind of see what is out there and gives them kind of an idea of what they want to do potentially. And other times students realize that it's not necessarily an agency or the type of work that they want to do in human services, but they have that resource knowing that that is available to clients that they work with in the future. So in week 3, you will watch your first recorded site visit. Not only do the visits potentially allow you to do some career exploration and learn about new resources and integrate course material, but they also allow for you to create or start to create documentation that is objective and required in the field. So after watching each site visit periodically throughout the semester, you will be creating a site visit paper for a grade. So under week 3, if you scroll down, you will see that the very first site visit is with the Franklin County Department of Social Services. This site visit, you will be learning about the financial services that are offered through the Department of Social Services. So for example, TANF, Temporary Assistance for Needy Families, SNAP, Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, among others, okay? In future weeks, you'll also visit the Department of Social Services again, but you'll be visiting the Child and Family Services unit in which you'll learn about CPS and foster care. Those will be different staff that you will be learning about. So after each recording, you will complete a virtual site visit paper. These are the guidelines, and I'm just going to go over them so that I can provide any clarification to you. So in your paper heading, you'll put your name, the course section, the date, site visit 1. Please don't get confused with this. It says site visit 1, Adirondack Youth Lodge. You are not visiting the Adirondack Youth Lodge or watching a video on the Adirondack Youth Lodge. It is just the title of the paper. So for you, the title of the paper will be the Department of Social Services for this paper. Each paper is the same in that it is broken out into different sections. The paper should be written in paragraph format, so please do not use bullet points. And you can use headings. So you can use introduction, for example, as the first heading, and then write a paragraph or 2 regarding these items. So for example, you can identify on February 6, 2025, you watched a recorded site visit with the Franklin County Department of Social Services, which is located on 122 Finney Boulevard. I don't think that is the correct address, but there are some handouts with the address. You identify the mission statement of the Franklin County Department of Social Services, and then a general overview of the services that are provided. Okay, that is the introduction. Then you'll have a couple of paragraphs reviewing the agency and the summary of the services. This is where you get in depth regarding the services that are provided. If the agency that you watch provides a brief history, please include that. If they don't, you don't necessarily have to include that. One thing that's really important is that I don't want students to go online and just gather the information and put it on a paper. The purpose of this is to be able to listen and to view and to record, because when you are in the field, you are going to work with people and work with agencies, and you need to document. You need to be able to gather information and then put it in a concise document that others will then have, and it will be kept on record or file, okay? Please then describe the agency services. So all of the services that are identified in these visits, typically the staff will go around and they'll talk about the program. You are going to get a lot of information. It may feel overwhelming. What is nice about this is that you will be able to stop the recording, rewind it, fast forward, whatever it may be, so that you can gather all the information. I am not asking you to transcribe this video. I am asking you to solely take the information and put it into a concise document so that I can see that you've watched it and that you've learned about the services that this agency provides, and identify the clients that are served as well. Then you will provide a description of the agency setting. Please understand that, yes, this is a virtual space, okay? So for example, the very first site visit with the Department of Social Services is through a platform called WebEx. That is what the county uses. And you typically will see multiple staff that are in their offices or maybe in a conference room together. You'll be able to see that. Please just describe what you're able to see. There are some site visits that you might see that the agency will actually, the staff will give you a tour. For this first site visit, that is not the case. So you're really going to just be seeing the background of offices, for example. Do the best that you can with what you're given. Finally, this is a very, very important part of the paper, the reflections and summary, because this shows me, one, that you're identifying services that you previously didn't know about or that you didn't know certain aspects of a particular service. And you're demonstrating that you can connect what you've watched in this video, so real live professionals in the field, and what you're learning in the class through readings and assignments. So you must identify and briefly describe a minimum of 3 services offered that you previously did not know about or understand thoroughly. Sometimes what happens is students will say, oh, well, I already knew about all the services, but that's not acceptable, because I'll say that I've been teaching this class for many years. And typically I used to go in site or on site and hear about the services a couple of times a year. And I'd always learn new things, because things always change. New services are developed, different funding sources are developed or established. Some services may not exist anymore, or they may expand. So there's always changes that happen in the field. So it's very unlikely that you're going to know every single thing about that particular agency. So please, again, even if it's something that you didn't understand thoroughly, you're to identify a minimum of 3 services. The next bullet is demonstration of key connections to class. Again, identify and describe 3 key human services concepts, ideas, models, or methods that you've learned about and observed. And I gave you an example. Referral is a process of connecting clients to one's agencies. It's best done formally and personally. We learned about this to our visit. Again, this is just an example. You can reference and cite the textbook as well. All right, so again, these are 50 points. They should be typed and in paragraph format, and you'll have a number of these throughout the semester. This is the actual video for the site visit. These are some handouts that you'll find helpful that may actually be referenced in the actual video that you are observing. So you'll have to download them and you'll see a number of handouts. The other thing that I just want to bring your attention to is that a couple of times throughout the semester, I'm asking students to briefly meet with me in groups just to check in to see how things are going and to make sure everybody is on track. And so you'll see that there's a Google form that is linked under week 3, and you are to identify a day and time here where you will sign up with me, typically with 3 other students that will just meet very briefly within a time frame of 30 minutes just to check in. It offers an opportunity to get to know each other and have a more personal connection as well. So please be sure to sign in. I do have the Zoom link. We won't be meeting until the week of the 20th. All right. You have any questions, please reach out.